You keep hearing people in your network talking about, oh, I've got a coach for this. Oh, I've got a coach for that. And you're thinking, if everybody else is doing it, should I? And in this video, we're here to answer the question of, do I need a business coach? Hi, my name is Tiffanie Kellog. In this video, we're going to answer the question, why do I need a business coach? I mean, technically, why do you need a business coach? We're going to explore that. First, we're going to talk about why business coaching is important. Then what a business coach can help with. Do I need a business coach? Being you. And lastly, what are some questions you might ask prior to hire someone to being your coach? Now, if you're like, hey, Tiffanie, I'm good on the first couple conversations, I'd like to skip to the very end, totally can do that. In the description below, you will find that we have chapters listed here, so you can easily click on any of the topics and go straight to the ones that were mentioned. We're going to start with why business coaching is important. And have you ever heard people talk about, well, hey, you don't know what you don't know? I think that's one of the main reasons that business coaching is so important. We don't know what we don't know. Many of us got into business because we love what we do. Whether it's the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, we are, baking the cakes or delivering the candles, whatever your widget is that you're supplying as a product or service. We love doing that, though there's so many things that go into business and making a business wildly successful that typically wasn't covered. I often talk about like attorneys are taught the law, but they're not taught how to run a law practice. And so for so many of us, we have an expertise and we are amazing at it. However, we may not be amazing at every single venue of running a business, every single avenue that's there for us. And a business coach could be there to help us out, but I'm getting ahead of myself. One of the things that's great about business coaches is that it offers outside perspective. Now, I posed this question out there on social media, and Tom Fleming, who is one of our Ascentive coaches, actually, his thought was, they, being coaches, help me to see my blind spots by allowing me to talk through things while also offering me alternative perspectives. Yes, Tom, I totally agree. And I mean, Tom even mentioned he's got a couple different coaches that he's working with right now. Now, Sean shared, it's to grow through situations that I have yet to see coming. Yeah, we don't always know what's around the corner. And that's why you hire a guide. Like if we were going to take a trip, you hired a guide to take you through the woods or the forest or down the river or wherever you do that. I don't hire guides for stuff like that because I don't do stuff like that. But we have a guide to help get us there because they know what's coming. A coach can do the same thing. They know what's coming for you. Now, Dawn shared this when posed the question of why do you need a business coach? If you want to grow, a coach can be instrumental. A coach can see beyond your limitations, provide a space for you to create new possibilities, and help you transform and move through the subconscious fears that are holding you back, among other things. At least a good mindset coach can. And since business growth and lack thereof is largely about mindset, and Dawn being a mindset coach definitely has the perspective to share that is so true. Now, what can a business coach help with? What can they help with? To me, can you get me unstuck? Can you keep me on track? Can you share the path that I want to be headed? There's so many things. Plus, they often have an expertise that I don't have. And now when I put this out here to social media, the number one answer that came up from most people was around this idea of accountability. Janine of Cloud9 Studios shared, just like a fitness coach, accountability. Renee shares accountability and overcoming barriers that may be limiting to achieving goals. Carola from the Wellness Institute for accountability. Sometimes it's hard to see what it isn't working when you're in the thick of it. A business coach gives you good feedback, ideas, and accountability. Emily shares, our coach is a partner that keeps us accountable. We work together to accomplish our goals. I highly recommend working with a business coach. It's interesting. This year, I've been reading Atomic Habits. I've actually read it a couple different times for a couple different book clubs. I've listened to the summary. I've really tried to immerse myself in that because I've got some habits that I want to pick up that I've struggled with over the past couple of years. And through some of the things in the books, yes, it's super easy to, let's habit stack, and I'm able to get a few things done. However, sometimes we need, I think, people bigger and outside of ourselves to help keep us on track. And what I find is when we're paying a coach to help us, we have a more invested interest than if it was a freebie or just to ourselves, because we're like, oh, I've got money on the line. I've got to make sure that I'm doing what I'm working on doing. And so I think it does kind of take that accountability to the next level. Plus, somebody's there every week or every month saying, how's it going? How's it going? What's happening? Where are you at? And I know I talked about what are some questions that you want to ask the coach, but I think it's also important when you're hiring a coach that it's a good fit. I am not a good fit for everyone. I am a very tenacious coach. So if you have a goal and you're not quite hitting it, I'm going to call you on it and be like, why aren't we getting it done? It doesn't mean that we can't reevaluate the goals and what we're working towards, but like, let's be serious. You've hired me for a reason. You want to create something in your life. Are we letting excuses get in the way? And I think there's a difference between reasons and excuses. You know, if you've gotten COVID and you're out for a month and you can't really work because you can barely move, that's a very different conversation than you're depressed and annoyed and just not in the mood to work anymore because, oh, COVID's here. Like, you know, I think there's a difference there. And a coach should be able to help you through that. Now, on the other side of this, what can a coach help you do? I loved Clara's answer to this question. If it's not my superpower, I find a coach. And I love that idea. If you're amazing at it, it's probably not an area that you need coaching on. However, if you need some help, that's to me when you hire a coach. And it's interesting because sometimes I'll talk to people, and especially in the business realm, and they're like, well, I want a business coach that's in my business. And if you're looking to work specifically in the business, working on that, you know, it may be that you want somebody in your industry. However, there are plenty of successful coaches that work with clients of a multitude of professions. Lois Weinblatt is a vision coach. I had her on Networking at Noon, my show, a couple of weeks ago. So you can check that out on my YouTube channel. I've got a playlist for Networking at Noon. Like, she focuses on vision and she works with people across all professions. Deb Cheslow is an achievement coach that I've worked with. And she works with people not only in the entrepreneurial space, which Lois does too, but, you know, also, you know, just everyday people as well. You know, Lois and Deb both kind of work in that. Now, I'm in the entrepreneurial space. So if you're a 9-to-5er, I'm probably not the right coach for you because I'm working with people that are in charge of their future and their success within their business. And so they either need to own the business or be a commissioned agent, or they get paid commission some way, shape, or form because they have to be out there creating sales on their behalf. And that's just kind of in the business realm. I mean, I've got a health coach to help me be healthier and happier. You'll see Danielle pop up in some of my videos here on YouTube. And it's not just about what I eat. It's about exercising, and it's about, you know, having fun in my world, which is, we all know, is important to me. I also know, so Betsy Suda, who is one of our Incentive Mastermind community members, she actually helps coach people on running marathons. I mean, it's very specialty, very niche. And so I think there's all kinds of coaches out there, and find the coach that has the superpower that you don't. They have the expertise to help you out. And to me, that's what you're looking for when you hire a coach. If I talk to somebody and they're like, I do everything in coaching, it is a little bit of a red flag. To me, do you really do everything? Or do you have a specific focus or a specific area? And I'm not going to say it has to be like uber specific of mindset coach or a referral coach or a marathon. But if it's, hey, I just work with people on everything, it may be a little too broad. And we'll talk a little bit more about qualifications and, you know, what puts them in a position to be a coach. Now, if you're asking yourself, do I need a business coach? Well, let me ask, are you stuck? Not like literally stuck, but do you feel like you're stuck in your business in your life? Are you in a rut? Or have you plateaued? Are you trying to reach the next level, but you can't quite make it? You know, it's interesting. I love this video that I saw on Facebook. So I wanted to share it with you because I think that's so powerful, because I think a lot of times people are in this situation. So let's check it out.
Enfin. Vai, voilà. Mitunia. Pas ok. Voilà.
decide, yeah. So, like, to me, the video is like captioned how to like keep trying. But to me, when I saw that, I'm like, no, it's not about keep trying, because she kept trying and she wasn't getting any better. She was doing the same thing, getting the same results. To me, you hire a business coach, all she needed was one tiny adjustment. And the success that followed was amazing. That's what we're here for. So as you think about, do I need a coach? On our team in the Incentive Tampa area, we've got Jason Avery, who specializes in, like, if you want to hire fast, fire fast, like massive business growth, managing teams. He's really amazing at that. And we also have another coach, Tom Fleming, and he's really great at developing organizational charts and plotting out for the future, so you have the systems in place within your business for that massive growth. And so two that go really hand in hand, different flavor, different flair. And I mean, seriously, y'all, if we think about some of the most successful people in the world, Tiger Woods, who I know is out for now, he has coaches to help him in his golfing. Michael Jordan had a coach. I mean, these are some of the best athletes, and they have coaches. And some of them, it's like, let me have a coach to work on strength, or let me have a coach to work on my swing or my shot. Let me have a coach to work on, like, these little, I don't know this for sure, but I'd say I'm like 98% sure they had somebody helping with nutrition to go along with it. There's so many things that we can do to make our lives better. And I think a coach is just somebody that's there to help us out. I'm not exactly sure why we feel like we need to do it all and we need to know it all. I think that the people that are open to saying, hey, I don't know what I don't know, and let me surround myself with the experts that do know, much more likely to create success. The last conversation in this video is going to be questions to ask before you hire a coach. And number one on my list is going to be, tell me about your previous clients. What have you created for them? What successes, what obstacles have they overcome? And can I reach out and talk to some of those clients? I mean, if you're going to invest thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in coaching, or in some type of, develop your business better program, you want to make sure that they're going to be able to deliver on what they're promising. So to me, if somebody said, oh, you can't talk to my clients. Now, if it's a confidential industry, that could be. But to me, if you said, hey, Tiffanie, can I talk to some of your clients that have used you? I'd say, here are a dozen or several dozen names that you can reach out and talk to them, and they would be more than happy to share, here's how I helped. So, who are the people they worked with? What have you created? What has the coach created for them? And sometimes you can catch this. I know this isn't necessarily a question to ask, but it's a way to determine this information. Let me go to their YouTube channel. Let me go to their social media. Let me go to their Google, their website. Don't stalk them, but maybe stalk them a little bit. Like, follow them and see what they have going on. I mean, if it's a business coach specializing in marketing and they have no marketing, I know you've got that whole cobbler with no shoes, but I always think about, if I go in to see the cardiologist that's 400 pounds and overweight, 400 pounds would make you overweight. I'm not, I'm worried he's going to have a heart attack and he's the one taking care of my heart. I know, don't get me wrong, I know there are plenty of people out there that are, I don't think inauthentic is the word that I'm looking for, but there's some incongruencies of who they are and what they're promoting. And like, that to me is hard when it comes to a business coach. I remember there was a coach whose goal was creating millionaires and not even close to living in that range. And I'm not going to say you have to be there. I know some people that coach speakers to be 7-figure speakers that aren't that themselves, because that's not their vision. But if we're, taking unemployment and we're coaching people on here's how to, make $2 million a year, it makes it a little bit hard. So we want to watch out for that. And speaking of watching out, coaching's like a hard thing, because you do have a couple different accreditations. You have licensings. Some organizations have their own coaching school. I know, like John Maxwell, Action Coach, even Incentive. We have our own in-house coaching school. There are different accreditations, but there's a lot of people that are coaches because they say they're coaches. I remember back in high school, my coach, my basketball coach, was like, yeah, Tiffanie will make a great coach someday. I'm like, yeah, if you can't play, you coach. And that's exactly where I was at, late to the game that I was, and short and slow. And I've seen a lot of people fail at their business and then turn around and become a coach. So you do want to see what their background is. And I'm not saying they have to be licensed. I'm not saying that they have to have a degree. We just have to say, okay, what is your background? What makes you appropriate to coach on this subject? If you've been having conversations with a coach, you could say, hey, knowing what you know about my business, how do you see that I can help you? Now, you can't have that conversation in the first 2 minutes talking to somebody because they don't know. But if you've had like kind of an introductory conversation, a consultation or an assessment or two, you should be able to get an idea of here's where they could help. And I often like to ask, what is working with you going to look like? Are we going to be meeting? Are we going to be meeting on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, quarterly, yearly? How long are you anticipating that we work together? And I know there's some coaches, like the goal is let's do 3 months and hopefully you're done. You've hit the project. And other coaches that you've worked with for years and years. Depends on what you're looking to develop, how long it takes you time. I mean, there's a lot of factors here, but just some questions that you could be asking. So I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below. Your thoughts. Do you have a coach? Are you thinking about getting a coach? What kind of coach have you utilized if you've done that before? And while you're down there, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to get notifications about other videos that we have to help you make more money, save time, and have more fun. I do hope that you've enjoyed this, why do I need a business coach? I hope it's helped create some clarity around all of the things in coaching. I know it may have left a couple more questions than we started, but at least we're further down the line. And sometimes that's what coaching is all about. We don't know what we don't know. So let's get one step closer to our goal. Happy networking, y'all.